Do not feast with the vultures. That's how you preserve culture. That's how legacies build. Each one teach one. Each one help one. Each one feed one. Each one praise one.
Hello. My name is Brikama Dirimakolong, and today I'm guest hosting 8+1 The Classroom. And today we're going to interview the founder himself. Before I get into it, I just want to share who I am. I'm from Gambia as well, and I live in Kansas City. Me and Charles met. I forgot how long ago, like 6 years ago or something.
Yeah.
And we talked about the podcast. His idea to basically do this. And today I'm here guest posting. I'm super proud of him. But you're gonna hear his own story. He's wearing a dope ass jacket, and you guys are about to see it. So let's get into this interview. So Charles, go ahead. Let the people know who you are.
Hey, hi everyone. My name is Charles Nzally. I am the owner, founder, CEO of 8+1 The Classroom. I live here in Kansas City, like he said. Abraham has been a great friend, a mentor. He helped me put 8+1 together, and I appreciate that from him.
Yeah, of course. I'm super proud right now because you guys have no idea how hard it is to put all this together.
Yes.
And to keep doing it consistently. How much? Like 3 years now or something?
Yeah.
Man, especially being a dad.
Yeah, about a year. A year of this is a lot.
Yeah, so make sure you subscribe because this man is doing a really good job. But let's try to take them on a journey here. Okay. Let them know where you're from and just your childhood growing up.
Yeah, so I am from the Gambia, West Africa, but specifically I am from Brikama, the Gambia.
Yeah, Brikama Boyo.
Yes, so Brikama is in the western part of the Gambia, and I am from a part of Brikama called Dirimakolong.
Oh, man, Dirimakolong.
Yes,
hey,
I am from one of the worst parts of Brikama. I think is if not the worst part of Brikama. I mean, now it's cooled off a little bit, but growing up in Dirimakolong, there was a lot of alcoholism, prostitution, weed. I mean, you name it, Dirimakolong, there was violence, crime.
Yep.
People getting killed. I remember a couple of times where some people were killed from a fight. They were fighting, and one end up getting stabbed and killed. Remember people getting stabbed and losing their eye. So I came from that environment, and we were not even outside of it. I grew up right in the middle of it because the house that I grew up in is like the headquarters of of all of that stuff,
Yep. Well, that's a word for it in Gambia, like kafo.
Kafo, yeah.
Everyone comes and gathers in one place. That's what's up.
I grew up at Line House in Dirimakolong. So when you tell the people that know, when you tell them Line House, they know exactly the house that you're talking about. So that's where I grew up in, and my childhood days and all of that.
Wow. Well, to give you guys a perspective, as someone who also came from Gambia, I grew up in Banjul. So me growing up, I wasn't even allowed to cross like Bruceby. Yeah. So I was the entitled kid. So him growing up from Dirimakolong, just to give you guys a perspective, it just means in the bottom.
Yeah.
So him being here today is a perfect testament that anything is possible. So
straight up.
Go ahead and let them know more.
Straight up.
Why did you end up coming to the US? Especially growing from a space where I'm pretty sure there isn't as many hope of being here today.
Yeah. My journey is a pretty interesting journey because my parents were always advocates for education. My dad was a teacher, my mom was a teacher. Yeah. So education is very present in my family. So my dad would always emphasize school. Yeah. And my mom is the enforcer. So it's like my mom is the one that is
tying the family together.
Yes, she's hands-on everything. And my dad, he's a teacher, but he traveled a lot. He taught in the provinces and and Upper River region, Mansakonko, all that area. So my mom she was at home. Yeah. And then she would check homeworks, to make sure the uniforms are ironed. Man, so make sure the uniforms are first before they iron, they're washed. My siblings make sure that I take care of their uniforms as well. That was part of my responsibility in the house. So that is my childhood, and then I went to school. Of course, I started schooling in Presentation of Mary in Brikama, which is one of the iconic schools in Brikama.
Yeah.
I mean, Jamisa Primary is also a big school, so we will mention Jamisa.
Yeah.
And then Presentation. Then I moved at some point in my childhood. I moved to Tallinding for a couple of years, about 3 years.
Yeah.
From 3rd grade to 6th grade, so that's 3 years. And then I went right back to Brikama, 6th grade. Went to Mindau Junior Secondary School, then went to St. Peter's High School.
Yeah.
And then I graduated at St. Peter's, went to teaching, did teaching a little bit at Katong.
Oh, nice. I
then-
didn't even know that.
Yeah, I did. I was a teacher. I was
Professoriate.
like it was an interesting time in my life, but it's the best thing I ever did because
Yeah, I bet.
I just graduated high school, waiting for results, grade 12 results.
Yeah.
And then got shipped out to go teach because they don't want me to be idle around.
Wow.
So I did this short course called the Catholic Teachers Certification Program, which is a couple of weeks, like a month.
Yeah.
And then they sent me out, and then I was teaching for a month, not a month, for a term. And then grade 12 results came out, and then I went to GTTI to study law.
Yeah.
And then from GTTI, while I was doing law, I ended up working for Access Bank.
Wow.
As a legal officer for a couple of years, about 3 years. And then I left to come to the United States.
Man, like I'm like surprised because I didn't know all of that. Like that tells you so much because you know sometimes in our country we like achieve so much and then you come here you have to start over again.
Yeah. Real
that's
talk.
wild.
Real talk. That's
yeah,
true.
but like before we go further, like it sounds like your parents had a huge influence in like helping you. You know, it sounds like you had no choice but to go to school, educate,
Yes.
and like grow. You know, especially growing up in that space. Like, what was your relationship like with your parents?
So my parents are very. I have parents who are very, very opposite. My dad is like calm, collected, and very, very deep. You know, he barely says a word, and when he says something, you
stays with you forever.
Yeah, you either thinking about it forever or you're laughing.
Yeah.
Every time you think about it, you're laughing. And
that's nice.
My mom is just an enforcer. She's just
she's the rock.
She's the rock. She's just there to make sure everything is done by the book. Her childhood, she was really smart, but she ended up at that time. We're talking about the 80s in Gambia.
Yeah. That's no hope for like most women.
So she ended up getting pregnant, which was me, and that stopped her schooling. So she turned that into a positive by making sure that all her children
get access.
educated. Yeah, get access to education by all means. So this was the kind of home that I came from. My dad is also a big fan of education. You know, he's a pioneer as far as education is concerned in Gambia. If you go to the up of Gambia and you say Nzally, everybody knows him.
Yeah.
That's what they call him. You know, sometimes people call me Nzally, and I'm looking around like thinking they're calling my dad, while you know they actually
you're
call
like
me.
you're like I don't deserve that name yet.
yes, very, very undeserving to be called that because that was his name. I mean, it's my last name, but. That was my part of, you know, that was my childhood. They were my heroes.
Yeah.
You know, my mom and my dad, my mom is about 18 years older than me. So she had me really young.
Yeah.
So growing up, my dad traveled a lot. So it was just me and her at home. My dad is a great provider, a great hardworking man. He would go travel, walk, come home. And my mom was just at home holding it down while my dad is going out to go get it. But my mom, you know, she just, we just had a really, you know,
tight.
Really tight, even through her strict nature, which is really needed because, you know, like I said, my environment that I grew up in, that is her way of saying, you see what's going on here. I need to put my feet down in order to get something
succeed.
great out of you.
No, definitely. I mean, you know, especially me, like growing up in Gambia in a whole different neighborhood, because you know, fortunately, I did not experience. I don't know whether fortunately is the right word, but I was just lucky that I didn't experience any of that. And even though I've like experienced loss, like I've had people die, but it wasn't as traumatic as you have. So how did you deal with that as a kid? I'm pretty sure your parents have everything to do with making sure that you like stay focused and go to school. But you personally, how were you dealing with that trauma of losing people, seeing people's eyes get stabbed, all that trauma in general?
To be honest with you, at that time, I never really thought that environment would have an effect on me at all.
Yeah.
Because that was what we had, right? And later on in life, you grow older and you talk to people and you go to school in St. Peter's and you meet these kids who have a different background. Their language is different. The shoes they bring to school is different. Just everything is completely different from yours, and it tends to kind of show you that there's more to this than you know what I mean, than what I am offered or what my environment is offering me. And you know, you get to notice small differences here and there. But as you grow older, you realize that is not a healthy environment for a child.
Yeah.
Like at a really young age, you know, my neighbors were prostitutes. So once in a while, you'll hear people having sex in the other room, or you'll hear fights about get off of me, get off of me. You know, you've done your money's worth. Get off of me, get off of me. So those are things that actually really happen. But I mean, that was what my parents. That's what they can afford at the time. You know what I mean? Given that they were teachers, and it was a family house, and always it was just too much going on at that place. But I appreciate my parents a lot. You know, without their guidance and without my mom being the soldier that she is, I mean, only God knows what would have came out of me. You know, what I mean?
Definitely.
Or what I would have turned out to be.
No, absolutely. Well, one thing that I like about, as you were talking about your family, just the sense of community, how, you know, it doesn't matter how far your dad is going. He's always thinking about the family, and it also doesn't matter like what the environment or what's happening, you know, the sense of community. Were there like other siblings apart from you, or was it just you? Well, so how many siblings do you have?
So I'm the oldest of 8.
Wow. So you were like the second dad at this point.
Yeah, exactly. I'm the oldest of 8. So some of my younger siblings, before they knew there's actually a dad, like they call me Papa. And then until they realize that,
you are not our dad.
this is the fake dad. There's a real dad.
All the bro.
Yeah, there's this just bro. And it's me, and then it's Eric. And then it's Roger, who is in Taiwan. And then it's Elizabeth, it's Daddy, it's Rebecca, it's Gifty, and it's Alan.
Man, you like to remember all of them.
Yeah,
awesome.
I sometimes I have to count. I had to do a head count.
I know. I saw you like taking a break. You're like, Elizabeth.
I mean, it's a whole basketball team with 3 cheerleaders, you know.
Now Elizabeth is gonna watch this video. I'm just like, you forgot about me?
Yeah, Elizabeth.
Man,
know, she's the little mother, but she'll be fine.
Yeah, I know. I hear you. So, like, what does it look like, you being in America and your family, you know, some are in Taiwan, the rest are in Gambia? Man, how do you deal with that?
It's hard. Sometimes we try to have like family meetings through WhatsApp, right?
Yeah.
So the best time for me to communicate with my brother is early in the morning, like 7 a.m., 6 a.m., then it's 7 p.m.
PM for him.
You know what I mean? So that's the best time to communicate. So with my parents being in Gambia, which is 5 hours ahead of us.
Like around 1 p.m. for them.
Yeah. So it's like trying to have the group together to have a meeting is hard sometimes. But we try, you know, we send audios here and there, with WhatsApp being a champion in that area. We send audios here and there. We have group chats and stuff. So once in a while, we'll call each other once in a while and just chop it up. Even the little ones will text you here and there.
Man, the little ones, they will always call you, because I have I'm also from a family of 8, and I'm number 2, so I have like little siblings that are still so little.
Yeah,
and then it's like they don't. I feel like they don't know me that well at this point, but they're always just like sending voice notes, and then it will like always like surprise me. I'm like, wow, I like this is crazy. Like, I have little siblings that are back in Gambia, but who is the young? I mean, obviously you were the youngest.
The
but
oldest.
like, what's the age like gap between all of you guys?
The age difference between me and Eric is about 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Between Eric and Roger is a year.
Mm.
And then Elizabeth and Roger, I think, is a 2-year gap. And then the rest of them are like Elizabeth and Daddy is a 2-year gap. And Daddy and Rebecca is a 1-year gap. And then the rest are like 2 years. And then Gifty and Alain are like, it's like a 4-year gap. It's like a huge gap there.
Wow.
So between me and Alain,
the youngest?
Yeah, the youngest. Me and him, we have like a 25-year gap.
25?
Yes, like
wow,
24. I think 24-year gap.
Wow.
Because when I was leaving Gambia to come to the United States, he's barely walking.
Wow.
Yeah.
So he has no idea who you are.
Now
he just has an idea.
Yeah. Now that I've gone to Gambia a couple of times,
gotcha.
and then we talk, we text, you know what I mean. So that we actually build an idea.
Yeah, like a connection.
A connection.
And getting to know each other.
Yeah, but before that, I have a friend who's actually called Charles, right? My mom will tell me this story. One time, he went to the house, and when he went, the kids were like, "Oh, Charles is here, Charles is here," and he thought it was me. And he just started jumping and running, telling my mom, "Wake up, wake up, wake up, Charles! Charles came from America. Charles came from America."
Yeah, man, your mom must have been like, "What?
What?" And she got up
and
come to find out,
it was another Charles.
It's the other Charles.
You're like, "Get out, Charles! It's not, you're not welcome." Man, that's awesome. So, like earlier, you like mentioned that you like taught for a little bit. Like, what exactly were you teaching again?
I was teaching science and English.
Wow.
Yeah.
Science and English?
Yeah, it was just so random. Science and English. I was teaching 5th graders. Man, the best.
That's fun.
Dude, the best time I ever had. The best job. I was getting paid. If you do the math, it's less than $10 a month.
Yeah.
But that's the most money. I'm not saying I'm grateful for what I've done in my career up to this point, right? But if there is any money that I really, really earned, is that.
Oh yeah,
$10 because I believe that I was doing something really noble. Teaching is the most noble thing you would ever do, and I loved it. I really did loved it, and it was funny because a few months ago I was the one skipping school and getting caught doing the crazy stuff in school, and a few months later I'm in the classroom. I'm the teacher. They're trying to sneak out of school and stuff, and I'm always catching them like, do you even understand that I was just doing this a while ago?
I mean, I actually eventually want to become a teacher, so I would like tell myself whenever I like see my kids like trying to skip, I'm gonna stop and be like, hey, this is the wrong way to do it. This is how you do it, but I'm not gonna let you do it. So let's go back to class. I
have a student of mine called Malang, man. There's no way I would forget this kid.
Yeah, stubborn.
This kid, he reminds me so much of me.
Yeah.
Like smart, but really stubborn. Like he would skip school. Every kind of trouble that's happening in class, Malang is a part of it.
Yeah.
And I don't know where he is now, but he just reminds me of me so much.
Yeah.
But I ended up just loving him so much. He would come and hang out with me. If you live in this, if you go to these outskirts of Gambia, these little villages, I mean, you live on campus, so these people.
Oh wow!
So when you get there, the families will actually. You will have to find a family that will kind of adopt you.
Yeah.
They'll when they make food, they'll give you a bowl. You get a bowl from them, so the food will be coming from them every day.
Well, that's awesome, man. So like you like did all of that like career wise, and then you came to America. What was that experience like? Because with me, like I actually like went to like university for a little bit. When I came here, I had to go back to community college and start all over again. And then I was like, I know all this thing. Why am I doing it? So how was that like for you?
Okay, so my story is a very interesting one, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you know when you come
Mm-hmm.
to America, you do a placement exam, some type of exam, right?
Yeah, to like test your English and all that.
Yeah, I was so overwhelmed, I failed it.
I know.
So now here I am in English. I think
English 101?
Yes,
Yeah.
English 101 or math 101.
Yeah.
Right? And
Oh,
it was, bro, oh my God. It
Mhm.
was the most annoying thing. Painful for them to teach you how to make a sentence. I was in class with
Like other,
Venezuelans, the people who are
yeah, like the
trying
international students
people who are trying to
learn
learn English. I was in class with them.
Mm-hmm.
It's the most annoying thing ever. After working at a bank for 3 years, after being
Yeah.
a teacher, after all of my work experience, I come here and then I'm doing this, taking this class with these people.
Yep.
And I do my assignment, finish it, and actually I'm in the class helping
Mm-hmm.
these people with this stuff. It's insane, dude. It's insane.
No, yeah, it's like a big problem in America because it doesn't matter where you come from, your education doesn't matter.
Yeah.
If it's not from America.
Yeah.
Because I also worked at my dad's office as a junior like accountant.
Yeah.
So I was literally doing all of his books. You know, I like had like tutors. I felt like I had a really good English, but then I did the test too, and I was overwhelmed and I failed it because I'm just like, you know, I got to the school. I saw so many different cultures I've never seen. I've never seen so many different people in one place. Because I came from Africa, everybody looked like me, and then I was in the same class. The computers,
the environment alone will overwhelm you.
Mm-hmm.
But the guy that I came with, Albert, he passed it. But Albert is like one of the most composed person I have ever seen.
Yeah.
Like his age, he's a little older than me. His growth has always been a really important tool.
Yeah.
That guided him a lot. I was so overwhelmed I failed it. And to top it all, you know, you coming from bro, at that time at Access Bank, you can't really tell me nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was a legal officer.
Mm-hmm.
I was doing a lot. I was in charge of board meetings, AGMs. I was doing all the preparation I was report writing, mortgage writing, drafting, a lot of all the stuff.
I know. Yeah. I mean, it's a bank. So
Yeah, I was doing my stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then I come here, my first job was at this room at the cafeteria.
you're like, why am I here?
I remember the first day at work, I cried, dude. I was
Man.
like, what? So I came to America for this?
It's so humbling, though.
Yeah.
You're like, here, you like have all this experience, but it doesn't matter
Bro,
in America.
It's so humbling.
Mm-hmm.
I cried, dude. I remember I called my dad. I was like, yo, this is not it. I need to, I'm coming home. I'm coming
Yeah.
home. He was like, coming home to do what? I said, this is what is here?
Yeah.
I remember calling Andrew,
Mm-hmm.
which is one of my big brothers who lived in Atlanta. I called him and I said, Andrew, did you do this? And he responded, everybody starts somewhere, dude.
Yeah, it's America,
Don't
man.
give up.
Especially
Everyone
like
starts somewhere.
No,
It's
yeah.
crazy.
No, with me, when I first came, like my uncle told me to go like get a job at a gas station on 63rd and Troost.
Yeah. And
Like
Proust?
the neighborhood was so rough, and then I got there and I was super happy because it was like the gas station. I
Yeah.
get to see people and like talk to people. But then the first day that I got there, and then this dude just walked in. He's like, "Dang, this nigga dark." I was like, wait, me? I didn't realize I was dark until when I came here. And then that was like the only thing. Like, it doesn't matter who it was. And I'm just like, man, this is so depressing. I never felt like self-conscious of my skin because I never thought about it until when I came. But everybody was just like, wow, dang, dude, where you from?
Yeah.
And then someone told me that I must have lived very close to the sun.
Yes.
I was like, what? So what was your experience like, just being a black man in America?
Picture that I have in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
And when I came here, what I found.
Mm-hmm.
I came and then I made some friends real quick.
Mm-hmm.
And we just hang out in school and drink alcohol. And shout out to Crispy, I did an interview with him. Crispy, Monte James, God rest his soul, he passed away. Bang, Rashad, Doc, Pats. It's a lot of them.
I was like, you have a good memory.
Yeah, it's a lot of them. Pats.
Yeah.
I remember what the other dude is called, the big tall white dude. I remember his name. I forgot his name. I'm sorry. And it's just a lot of people, dude. Some of them I will run around. I'll see them in Kansas City once in a while, and they're like, "Yo, I know you from Coffeeville."
Yeah, Coffeeville.
So I was just in there trying to find my way in there. Me personally, I didn't realize the accent until I got here.
I know.
That's one thing I didn't realize when I came and I spoke, and everybody else speaks, and I'm like, okay, this is different.
This
and
is weird.
The accent was so thick at the time. I tried to pronounce certain things, and they're like, "What are you saying?"
I know.
And I had to spell it out, and they're like, "Oh no, that's not how you."
Yeah.
That it first started with my name. In Gambia, when you say what's your name, they say Charles. I come here when they say what's your name, Charles. You gotta kind of drag the R. And those are some things that I had to go through. That, and then just finding my feet in America, trying to understand the system. But one thing for sure, I felt like I was too good to work at the cafeteria. But Chris will always tell me, "Man, you came from Africa, dude. You think you're just gonna come here and work at a bank?" And he's like, "Bro, keep going to work, man. Keep going to work. I promise you. Keep going to work. Keep going to work." And I believed him, though. I didn't like it. And Albert, who was like a big brother to me, who was also from Gambia, he would be like, "Nah, you gotta go to work, dude." He would like literally get in my face. You know what I mean? He was like the big brother. He would, kind of talk to me, and he gave me a lot of guidance, dude. Watching him do certain things made me tighten up real quick to say, you know what? If he's doing this,
I can do it too.
I need to do this.
Yeah.
And those Chris, Albert, Evelyn, Tanya, like those were like JP. Oh yeah, JP, Nix. My first years in America wouldn't have been as smooth. Yeah. As without them. Those people I just mentioned, Albert, JP, Evelyn, Tanya, Nicola.
Yeah, shout out to your day ones in the US.
Yeah, they played a huge role. Without them, my transition in America would have been really hard, dude.
No, definitely. I mean, especially maybe now, things have changed because people are more accepting of foreigners. Well, I guess when you say accepting, that also depends.
Depends on how you define it.
Yeah, but I remember like having an accent in America. Usually, people just automatically like devalue you and your knowledge, your education. Because with me, I don't even know how I sound like this now. But I remember when I first came here, I had an accent that the moment I talk, people can know too. Yeah. But then it's like I had to consciously, go back and like, like listen to like different audio and like learn how people are talking and then learn like breathing techniques just so that I can sound different. Did you have to go through that as well?
Nope. I didn't even try.
Good for you.
I didn't even try because I dated this girl who said that she liked my accent.
So acceptance.
So I felt like, okay, if a girl can like me because of my accent, that means I have to embrace it. Yeah. But I did embrace it. But recently, a guy who lived in Ghana, I met a guy who lived in Ghana, and he's like, "Hey, come here." And I go, he's like, "Where you from?" It's like, "I'm from Gambia." And he goes, "Yeah, I knew you were from somewhere. Your accent is kind of cleaning up." And I kind of felt bad when he said, "Your accent is kind of cleaning up." I was like, "Cleaning up?" He said, "Yes." Yeah. And he goes, I live in Ghana for a really long time. He said, when the Ghanaians speak, the accent is different from what you were, how you were sounding. And he hurt me a little bit. I was like, damn, if I lose this accent, that means
you are losing a little part of yourself.
Yeah.
No, but like sometimes you like have no control because you've been living in one
Yeah.
place for so long.
Your
Because me right
environment.
now, I used to speak Jola, Wolof, Sarahule, Mandinka. Now I don't speak anything except Mandinka. Like whenever I call my family, and sometimes depending on who I'm talking to, they will just jump into Sarahule, and I'm just like, yo, I don't know what you're saying, and I'm just like, I
That's
can't
crazy, dude.
respond. That's because I've been here for 10 years, and it's like all of the other languages I'm not practicing them, so they going.
And you came in a little young too, right?
Yeah, I was like 20 when I came, like 21. I just turned 21 when I came. I'm 30 now, so.
Yeah, I came in at 25. But the thing with me is when I go back home, right, or when I'm talking to my parents on the phone, right, I speak a lot of Mankind, which is my tribe. So we speak that a lot. But when I went home this year, I find myself struggling.
I know
with certain things I'm putting
like
in
the
English.
slangs that they would say.
I'm throwing in English a lot, and the people who are my father's relatives who came from Guinea-Bissau.
Yeah.
When I was speaking Mankind to them, it's bad.
They're like, what are you saying?
Yeah, they're struggling to understand what I'm saying because I'm throwing in English, and they always tell me, yo. Your Mankind is full of English. We're not understanding what you're saying. And then I'll try to remember the word or try to ask for the word and then things like that. But I'm not proud of it. I'm not proud of it at all. It's like, I don't want that part of me to.
No,
lose
I
that
mean
part
it is hard because I still have friends that don't speak Mandinka at all, and that's all the only language that I can speak now. Like, because I talk to my family all the time, so I get to practice that either way. But whenever I would like call my friends on WhatsApp and they're like on the group chat, and then someone will call and I answer and they're all just speaking Wolof like slang, and I'm just like, man, and then so someone will ask me something in Wolof and I'm just like, shit, I don't know. It's like I can't like follow through anymore. It's but now I'm like talking to a few friends to see whether they can teach me again so that I can relearn the language because. It is very common in America, living here, or not just America, in other places. Whenever you like stop speaking the language, you just automatically just lose it.
That's just a language,
I know.
Like, I used to have neighbors who were Kroninkas and stuff, and I would speak Kroninkas when I was a child.
Yeah, Kroninka.
Yeah, but now I can't speak it now.
Yeah.
I forgot all of that stuff. I mean, but if I'm around.
Yeah,
Someone who's speaking it, I kind of pick some words here and there.
Just like remember.
Yeah, remember some stuff.
The more you're around them,
you lose it. Language is like it's like any other thing. If you have it and you don't use it, I mean, you're going to lose it.
Yeah,
which is just natural. That's just what the truth is.
No, definitely. So we're gonna go like into the future a little bit. So now you're in America. You were doing a job that you don't like, but you had friends that were helping you to make sure that you like stay in. And now you're going to school and having to relearn things that you already know. And here we are today. You have a podcast. How did you go from there to here, and what was the reason why the podcast in general, 8+1?
Okay, so the thing is this, right? I studied law in Gambia. So I came here to do criminal justice. So the reason I selected criminal justice on that option,
makes sense,
right,
yeah.
is that I didn't see anything that says law. I saw pre-law and criminal justice, and I'm like, pre-law?
Yeah.
I already studied law. What do you? So I thought criminal justice is just an equivalent to law. But when I came, I realized that the credits that I have, what I have learned in the Gambia, is of no use, right?
Yeah.
So I have to start all over again. But what do I study here that's marketable, that's going to get me the job that I want really quick?
Yeah.
What is marketable? What sells? I realized, and then quickly I realized law, I have to go to university first for 4 years, then take
the bar.
Not the bar, but take there's an entry exam that you do. Is it
What, to become a lawyer?
No, that to get accepted in the law school first.
Oh wow, I don't know.
LSAT, I think you take your LSAT, then you get accepted into law school. Then
Then you do the
another 4 years,
years
or
and the
whatever
bar.
it is. Yes, and then the bar.
Wow.
So when I found out about that, I said I don't think I have the luxury for that, even the affordability
Yeah.
as an international student. So it was hard for me to really find out exactly what it is I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Where do I go to do this research on what do I do next?
Yeah.
What is available, what is not available, right?
Mm-hmm.
Quickly, I realized that there's nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So I came up with 8+1.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's when I came and had a meeting with you.
Mm-hmm.
8+1, the classroom, to provide
Resources.
a resource center,
That's
provide
smart.
a reference point to interview as many international students as possible,
Mm-hmm.
to give them a platform to tell their story.
Mm-hmm.
And so their story can be a reference point for somebody else.
For the next one.
Yes.
That's nice.
However, during that process, you know, I realized that if I only focus on just the international student, right,
Mm-hmm.
they might not understand exactly what the journey is like for the American person.
Mm-hmm.
So for you to really understand the dynamics of this country,
Mm-hmm.
you need to understand the day-to-day of the average American
Mm-hmm.
and the day-to-day of the
Yeah.
international person, so you have exactly a clear picture of what exactly you're walking into. So
Yep.
that was why I created 8+1 the classroom.
Well, that's very well thought out, because you know, me being someone who came here as an international student, it's like, you know, I like didn't know anything. So
Yeah.
like you know, having a place for anyone to go in and like learn about just America in general, but then being open-minded to, you know, bring in other cultures, other people, just so that it doesn't have to be a closed niche. Because now
closed niche.
you were giving American opportunities to actually know,
No,
you
exactly.
know, the immigrants, which is a
Yeah.
big problem in America.
Yeah.
You know, so far, all the people that you've like talked to, like interviewed, which how many people have you already like talked to now on your podcast? Do you even count?
So, right now, I have about 8 published.
Mm-hmm.
I have one interview
Mm-hmm.
with a guy here in Kansas City
Mm-hmm.
called Baba Maurice Copeland.
Mm-hmm.
A really beautiful interview. That we were trying to understand why the divide between the African and the African American.
Mm-hmm.
But he gave me so much to
Mm-hmm.
where I'm actually scared of putting out the
Yeah,
interview.
you're like, this is.
Because I'm like, are we ready to touch on something like that?
Mm-hmm.
So I have that one that's not published.
Mm-hmm.
I have one with Sean
Mm-hmm.
Taylor that's not published. I
Yeah.
have audio issues with that. I have an interview with someone else. I don't remember who it was. That is not Solomon Babin.
Mm-hmm.
I have an interview that I did in the mountains, in the
Yeah.
Smoky Mountains with Solomon Babin that is not published.
Mm-hmm.
But I have published several. I have quite a few lined up.
Mm-hmm.
I have some people that I really want to interview.
Mm-hmm.
I have this lady that's here who's a loctician called Tahira Hines.
Yeah.
She is of Caribbean descent.
Mm-hmm.
And I really want to interview her. One, for her Caribbean influence,
Mm-hmm.
how that influenced her.
Yeah.
And 2, for just how she's able to. She grew up in America, but
Mhm.
some of part of her life she spent
In the
in
Caribbean.
Barbados, I think.
Mhm.
So that blend, I really would love to sit down and talk to her. We've
that's
been
nice.
scheduled, but it will
Yeah.
happen. It will
I
happen.
mean,
at
it will
some
happen
point.
if it's meant to happen. It's just
Yeah.
timing.
I know it's meant to
Uh-huh.
happen. It will happen.
Yeah, that's good.
happen.
So, what have you learned so far after talking to all these people?
Man,
Like, what's one? I know that that's probably even hard to say one thing, but what's one thing you've learned after talking to so many different people, from different
That-
backgrounds and different cultures?
that everybody is on a journey.
Mm-hmm.
Like every single human being, right? Consciously, subconsciously are on a
Mhm.
journey.
Yeah.
And the journey does not even have to be something that they set out to say, I have to get from A to B.
Yeah.
But when they sit down, when they're speaking to you, A lot of people are on a journey of healing. A lot of people are on a journey, a purposeful. Some people's journey is like purposeful.
Yeah.
Someone like Lene, she's on a journey of teaching.
Yeah.
She wants to share every single information that she knows. She wants to share. Someone like Gina, she was on a journey of successfully running a business, being a mother, and being a nurse. She's graduated.
Yeah.
Tahir he went on the journey the back way, and he told his story, right?
Oh, wow.
So, like, Teddy B was on the journey of healing. Brandy Logans was on a journey of healing too. So the more you talk to people, the more you understand the dynamics of this country, how things can be really good for you or really bad for you. But in all those stories, there's one thing that's very, very present. It's a second chance.
Yeah.
It's a chance to bounce back. Whatever it is that you're going through, whatever it is that you're doing, sometimes it's not even going through stuff. It's like on your journey, the failures that you have trying to achieve something, there's always the ability to bounce back.
I like that. So since you mentioned failure so far, what are the personal challenges or business challenges that you had to go through as you build this podcast and all the people that you've talked to so far?
I'm not trained. I'm not a media trained person, right? It's just me hanging out with friends and having conversation and talking, right?
Yeah.
So the technical abilities is one thing that is very present. And two, luxury, the luxury of time. I might want to interview someone who's really willing to do it, but the time is not there to have that sit down and do it. And sometimes we sit down and do interviews, and then the audio,
you forgot the audio.
You forgot to press the audio. Or sometimes the camera settings are a little awkward. Some part of it is blurry, so it's stuff like that.
Yeah, man. Well, I can relate to that a lot because and I remember when I first started. And by the way, people, there is no one behind here. It's just Charles setting up, running audio, setting up lights. Just to make sure that this and he has to do all the editing at the end of the day, which editing is a nightmare. Yeah, and I had to do that too when I initially started, and it was so frustrating. And one thing that I realized, like, there were so many people watching, but then no one was actually taking time to react to it or comment, especially on my story. I'll get like 400 people watch anything that I put on my story, but they don't even click on the video to like it. Yeah, and which, like, back then I would get really pissed because, I felt like I wasn't really in love with the process. I was paying too much attention to the metrics. And then the more I was able to make that mind shift, it just somehow got way too easier. It's like now I don't even know how many people watch my story because I don't care anymore because I just enjoy the education, sharing information, and getting to know people. And I feel like right now that's where you are, because I remember when you started. Oh yes. You always talk about like the the metrics, subscribers, but now
and views. Yeah. When I started, I almost gave up because of subscribers and views. If you post it on Facebook, right? The video the short clip might get about 800 views on Facebook. I know. Right, and then you post the whole thing on YouTube and you share the link over there, and it gets 75. Yeah, and I'm like 75.
What happened to the
what happened to the 800 that happened here?
I know.
I was so focused on the metrics to the point where I was losing value of it. But some random stuff happened. So some guy that I barely see eye to eye with. Like me and this man do not see eye to eye at all. Yeah. And he lives in Europe now, right? I don't want to go into specifics, but randomly he sends me a long message and say, "Hey, thank you for what you're doing." Wow. With the classroom, that's what he called it.
The classroom.
Yeah.
You are like, God damn it. I know I hate this guy, but I appreciate you.
Yeah, he said, "Thank you for what you're doing with the classroom. I've been watching. And he specifically referenced an interview and said he
Wow.
can relate Gando's interview.
Really?
He can relate to that because of some of the immigration process he has gone through, and it
That's
blew
powerful.
my mind.
That's powerful, yeah.
It blew my mind. And then one of my interviews with Tahir was actually used as a reference for a Gambian priest who is studying at the Vatican in Rome right now.
Wow.
So he's going to use that interview to write a thesis.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Yeah, that is, when he told me that, I thought he was just
messing with you.
Yeah, messing with me. And he's like, yeah, I need you to officially send me the link and write some notes on my WhatsApp so I can use that to back this thesis.
Wow, that's amazing. Congrats.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
That's big. And I would, you know what I mean? So it's things like that that will keep me going. That's why I will reach out to one person one time. They will.
Yep.
And then I'll come back, and then I'll keep coming back. You know.
Yeah, the follow-up.
Annoyingly until we are able to sit down. And at this phase of it, I want to start refocusing on the immigrant a little more.
Yeah.
And I want to start going to these schools and see if I can have these conversations with the international student directors.
No, definitely.
Yeah, but they're a little hard to reach. That's a niche that I really wanna get to. And if possible, I really wanna work with Fatou Camara.
Oh yeah, the one in Gambia, the Fatou show.
Yeah, Fatou show. She now lives in Florida.
Oh really?
Yeah, I
didn't
really
even know
wanna.
that.
I really wanna work with her.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
I just sent her
sure.
a message the other day and told her that I've connected with her on Facebook, and we were just talking the other day.
Man.
I sent her some of the videos. I wanted her to
watch it.
and kind of give me a feedback, but she said she's watched some of them, but she just didn't have time to kind of send me a proper feedback.
Yeah.
I would definitely want to work with her on some type of capacity.
Yeah, I mean it's going to happen. And Fatou Show, if you're watching this man is building a brand, and usually people talk about brand all the time, but they're talking about the logo, the looks, the stuff. But when we talk about the brand here, it's like what people get when they watch his videos, like the gut feeling to even sit down, someone who don't like you, send you a message. That's what a brand is. So Fatou Show, if you happen to watch this, reach out to Charles, because I think y'all are gonna do great work.
I'm not. I don't want to say this, and it comes off like a bragging, right? I'm saying this in the most humble way, right?
Yeah.
I have had people reach out to me, right? Before I even connected to reach out to Fatou, right? I've had people reach out to me and try to connect me and work with me. I just said no. But with Fatou, I will work with her, because I think she's an icon. I mean, growing up in Gambia, about that time when you put on TV and say,
everybody knows Fatou Show. She had a whole jingle.
The jingle. She's done this for real, just to be able to not only just work with her, just to be able to have her as a mentor, someone that I can learn from. It will be big. And some of the people I want to work with a lot of people. I want to do one with one of my really good friends, Yamjai.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that would be.
Is she in the U.S. now? Or
yeah, she's in the U.S.
Where?
It's probably, I think, California. I think.
Yeah.
She's in L.A. somewhere.
Well, just like take a vacation with your wife and be like, we're going on a vacation and stop by all this.
You know how horrible of a friend I am. I might not even know if Yam lives in L.A. There's a lot of mountains wherever she's at.
Well,
so there could be
Utah,
there could
Colorado.
be Utah, there could be Colorado, there could be Vegas, there could be anywhere. But she lives in one of those mountain places. We talk every day, but how come I never ask?
Well, now she's gonna watch this and be like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah,
I thought you know where I live already.
I'll get a message. I know I'll get a message. Yamjai is one of the people I want to talk to. I want to talk to. Man, I want to talk to a lot of people, dude.
Yeah, I mean, it's just finding the time, and you know, the balance to, you know, be a family man. You have a podcast to produce now.
Yeah.
And the work, you have a
work.
job to do.
I have to work. It's not paying bills. So until it's paying bills,
yeah, you
I'm
gotta
gonna
do what you gotta do.
I have a wife and a daughter to take care of course.
Well, I mean, it's gonna happen for sure. I do have one question before we wrap up. So it's like, you know, if I feel like now, you know, I feel like you were like figuring things out as you go. Like you said earlier, the journey. You're always kind of in the process, learning. How do you feel right now? How do you feel about everything, just in general?
I feel grateful. I feel grateful that people will even accept to
be in here and talk to you.
to come and sit down and talk to me.
I know.
You know what I mean? Like it's humbling when you reach out to someone and they're like, "Oh yeah, I'll do it." The time might not be there, right? But the intention is what counts.
Yeah,
like,
I would do it. Yeah,
I'll do it.
It does something to you for sure.
And you're like, "Oh shit, you actually gonna? Okay, you. Oh shit,
You're
like
all right, cool.
Joe Black."
Uh-huh.
I send, because when I'm wanting to do stuff with people, I'll send them a
An
link to the
example.
podcast so they could see. So I sent it to him. He watched. It says viewed, right? And he didn't really respond for a while, and then he sent back. He said, "I'll definitely do this."
Yep.
And I literally responded to him. "Oh shit, you will?"
Because you're like, Joe Black wants to be on my
I'm like,
podcast.
Joe Black. Okay,
That's what's up.
funnies. When I went and then he's like, "Okay, let me see some of it." And it's like, "Okay, I'll do this." I'm like, "Oh shit."
Yeah.
So things like that, when people are coming and saying, "Okay, they will do it," it's humbling. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, it is.
It's humbling. It's a good feeling when people are part of it. When people watch it and they leave their comments and say, "You know, I watched this. This is great."
Yeah,
conversation.
especially when they leave specific
specific
notes on things that they like resonate to.
Resonate
Oh my God.
It's overwhelming. It's like, wow. So
Yeah.
this is just something I started with you and just a few friends, you know. But
Yeah, that's wild. Like we like did like an interview. You were the one interviewing me a year and a half ago or something.
yeah, a year and a half ago, it's my first episode, I think. Yeah, lights were bad. The audio was messed up halfway.
like inside a Airbnb.
Inside it, yep. Audio,
Man.
and then that you see that one went bad. Then we have to do another one at the house.
Yeah, at your house.
Yeah.
You should put like a video here showing the before.
showing exactly before, you know.
Yeah, because I remember that like I had to wear the same outfit.
Yeah,
I came to your house.
exactly.
Man, that was wild.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you know what? Good for you for sure. Because right now, as you can see, guys, he's wearing a fly ass jacket.
No, hey,
Like you can,
hey,
you know,
man.
little wins. If it's
Little
a shoe,
wins.
a jacket, you know,
Little wins.
like
Little
shoe
wins.
cam. Where's the shoe cam? You gotta show them the shoe cam right now.
Listen,
you know what?
this-
You are too humble. Sometimes you know, you've done good. Because I'm like
Yeah.
seeing what you do. But one thing is like, do not lose that. Oh shit! Like this
Yeah.
person want to talk to me.
Yeah, I'm never.
Because it's trust. They trust you to share.
We
Is
can.
there one last thing that you want to share to the people viewing?
I've never really been this humble. You know, I was a little pompous. I was a little full of myself. When you accomplish a lot at a very early age, right? It kind of gives you.
Boost your ego.
Yeah, it kind of gives you this ego that makes you feel like this is it. You're always going to ride this wave forever. And then life happens, you know. You come to America and then life, you see real life. You know what I mean? Turn around, there's no mother, there's no father, you know.
Yeah.
You start having your struggles with mental health. I've dealt with the struggles of mental health. I've dealt with the struggles of being broke. I've dealt with the struggles of having no way to live, pretty much being homeless, living in the gym. I've had my share of, you know, not having a job, getting laid off. You know, I've had my share of losing a parent when you cannot even afford to go to Gambia to
be there.
go be there. You see what I'm saying? So I've never been this humble, but life happened. Life has hit me hard so many times to where I don't have an option but to be humble.
Yeah.
And I'm incomplete. I'm the most incomplete human being you can ever find.
Right.
I have to remind myself every day that this is not promised.
Yep.
This is not given. I'm on borrowed time. So there's no, I don't have any option but to be humble.
Yep.
That is why people want to come and sit down and have a conversation with me. Because if I show them better than thou or holier than thou, I don't think they will be willing to come and sit down and have any conversations with me at all. So that's where the humility come from.
Man, very well said. You know, it sounds like, you know, you've had a lot of human experiences, and usually when you experience the other side, you were able to create the space for people to be free and tell their stories, and that's what you've done here. So that's an amazing job. So, but yeah, I mean, is there anything else that you would like to say? I know I've said earlier. Is there anything else you would like to say? It's because you are so deep as you talk. The more I'm realizing, I'm just like, you're more like your dad.
Very like, you know, I don't know, man.
Let's say, let me make it easier. Like a Gambian kid watching this video, you know, living in the slums in Gambia, and then seeing you today and watching you, what would you say to this kid? Never
stop believing in yourself. There's going to be times where people are going to tell you, you are less than. It's going to be times where people are going to question your dream. There's going to be times where people are going to count you out. Trust me, do never allow others to stop you from dreaming. Whatever you put in your heart and in your mind that this is what you want to do, walk. Walk, WORK. That's the best thing I could tell you. Just keep on walking. Keep on pushing. It will happen eventually. I am a kid who grew up in Brikama Dirimakolong.
Right. In the bottom.
Around prostitution, alcoholism, weed, violence, all kinds of drama. I came from that. And I am able to make something for myself. Not just me. Francis Mendy came from my same environment. He's doing great for himself. Keba Kebe came from my environment. He's doing great for himself. Right? Many other people came from my environment who are doing great for. I have people come out of that environment, become priests, become teachers, doctors. You see what I'm saying? So this is all attainable. I have not even done nothing yet.
Right.
You know what I mean? This is just the beginning. And I hope to do more. Every single child has some greatness in it. You just have to find what you're great at, and it would lead you. I've always been a talker. And I'll talk my way. I'll talk my way into seven figures.
Your podcast, you know.
I'll talk my way into seven figures.
No, it's actually that simple. If you can make that mind shift, finding what you care about and going all in. So I feel like we can keep talking the whole day, but since nowadays society's attention span is short, so we're gonna cut it here. But thank you for your time, people. So what I take from this conversation with Charles is that you are not a product of your environment. It doesn't matter. It does matter where you come from, but what matters is what you see, who you are, and being able to get out of that mindset and going all in. It doesn't matter whether you have an accent. It doesn't matter whether you are a kid from Africa who doesn't really know what to do. As long as you find what you care about, what you like, that's always a possibility. So this is 8+1 The Classroom. Thank you so much for your time, and you have a blessed evening. Do you have something to close it out, like your own closeout? Because since I'm guest hosting,
I mean, I don't really have anything to say. I mean, other than subscribe, like, share with your friends, and just show support. That way we can continue doing this. Like he said earlier, we don't really have a crew here. It's just me and whoever my guest is, and 90% of the time, that's what it is. Unless I have Ibrahim here, which is, I mean, when he's here, he's here to do his own stuff too. He has his own stuff going on. He has his film work. He has his project that he's working on called the Freedom Project. The Freedom Project is a mental health project here in Kansas City. He's working on something really big. I just want to beg everybody, go and subscribe to his YouTube. Go and support what he has going on. He has big and better, big things coming and better things. Mental health is for everyone. This is a Gambian child here in Kansas City doing a really big project on mental health. So I think we all need to go and support it. Abraham Advocates.
You give me my handle.
Yeah,
I'm the guest host.
Abraham Advocates on Instagram, and then you will see the Freedom Project is on there. You will see Abraham Advocates.
Well, thank you for
put
that.
The handles on the video, so you could reach out and support and we could get it from there. And thank you, dude. Thank you.
No, definitely, of course. I mean, thanks for having me guest post. Now in the future, if you need a guest post,
I got you.
Let me know. I would love to do this. But yeah, again, thank you so much. Make sure you follow Charles's social media. Everything is going to be in the bottom here. And y'all have a blessed night, morning, evening, wherever you are in the world. So thank you.
All right. Thank you, dude. Thank you, bro.
Be prudent and wise, be humble and focused. Do not let life scare you. Face your trials heads on, face your trials with faith. If you fall 7 times, rise up 8 times. I'm a massing cling of fire. Never let fear stop you. They'll sell you hope for the price of action. It's for you not to auction your dream at a 9-to-5 gathering. Learn the ropes to be free from self-bondage. Have to fend for yourself. Do not feast with the vultures. That's how you preserve culture. That's how legacy is built. Each one teach one. Each one help one. Each one feed one.